Hey, what's happening, everybody? Derek here from Simply Home, and I'm back with your October 2025 real estate market update for the city of St. Clair Shores. Let's get into it. So it's been a pretty busy month. Currently in St. Clair Shores, there are 140 homes for sale compared to 89 that sold back in the month of September. And the average sale price for September was $253,980. That's down 2.6% since the month of August, and it's down 2% since September of 2024. And of those homes that sold, on average, homes are selling for 99% of asking price, and they're selling at an average of 19 days on the market. And currently in St. Clair Shores, there's 1.8 months worth of inventory on the market. So let's break down what all those numbers mean. And there's a little bit of ambiguity here because unlike most times, right now we've got like multiple different like competing forces, interacting with the real estate market. And I'm not 100% sure who's going to win and when and how. So we've got things kind of jumbling all together. So let's break it down. Obviously, we've got a lot more inventory on the market than we do sales, which is leading to our 1.8 months worth of inventory that's sitting on the market. Now, I'm expecting that to kind of gradually increase over the course of the next several months. At least that's what we've been seeing. So there's two reasons for that. Like normally, usually in about like August or early September, we start seeing the number of active listings start to decrease week over week and month over month. We're not seeing that this year. It was pretty similar to a couple years ago. We saw inventory continue to increase all the way until right about Thanksgiving, and then it started dropping down. So it looks like we might be on that same kind of path, which is definitely not typical, but we'll keep an eye on it. The good news is the week over week gains in inventory is very gradual. We're talking like, there might be like 7 new listings net, between week 1 and week 2, things like that. We're not seeing like 70 new homes hit the market or anything. We're not being flooded with inventory. But at the same time, we're also getting to that time of year where there's fewer people looking at homes. So we're seeing a bigger gap in between the available properties for sale and the number of people who are willing to purchase those properties right now at this time of year. So the good thing that we have is on the 29th, the Fed is meeting, and it's almost guaranteed that they're going to lower interest rates again. And I know mortgage rates aren't perfectly tied into that, but it does. It's probably the biggest thing that influences mortgage rates. So we should continue to see rates coming down, and we're seeing that as well in real time. I wouldn't be surprised if by the end of the year we're somewhere in the 5s on an average for like a 30-year fixed rate mortgage. We're not there yet. We're in the low 6s, so we've got a little bit more to drop, and I think we'll probably see that. The Fed's also supposed to drop rates one more time this year. They just haven't said when, but we're running out of year, so it's not going to be too much longer. Now, the other thing that I'm definitely keeping an eye on is employment, because I know employment's starting to get kind of shaky. So, I don't think we've really seen like major impacts to employment here in our market yet. But, if one of the automakers like shuts down a production shift at a plant or something like that, that's going to have impacts throughout our local real estate market, not just including St. Clair Shores, but the market overall. So, I wouldn't be shocked to see something like that happen, although, we haven't seen it yet. When that happens, we'll address it. We'll see how it impacts the market and just keep checking back on this channel, and we'll definitely make another video about that. But, the other thing that we have to keep in mind is just see the time of year, because the real estate market is a little bit seasonal here in Michigan. You're going to have your highest average sale price and your most number of sales in the middle of summer, and in the middle of winter, January, February, is when you're going to see your lowest average sale price and your lowest number of sales. Although the market has been picking up faster, like for the last several years. It used to be like the middle of February, things would kind of start to like start picking back up again, and now it's literally like the week after New Year's, you start seeing the market activity kind of spur and increase a little bit. So, long story short, we're going to keep an eye on the market. We're seeing it's not uncommon to see slight drops in average sale price, just like what we saw in the last month in St. Clair Shores. So. I think what we might be seeing is the gradual transition into more of a buyer's market. And realistically, we haven't been in one for probably since like 2011 or 2012. It's been a seller's market pretty much ever since then. So, traditionally in the United States, 80% of the time we are in a buyer's market. This has really been a really long extended seller's market that we've been going through. So, which is not to say it's a bad time to sell. It's just, it's supply and demand. When you're going up against more competition, your home is just going to take longer to sell. Not to say that you won't get multiple offers on it, but you have to do a little bit more work to get to that point as a home seller. So, there's some things you can do, obviously, to make your home more attractive to the buyers out there. And the fact that right now in St. Clair Shores, the average home got 99% of asking price means that at least probably just slightly under half of the properties that sold still had multiple offers on them. So, anytime you can do that, you're looking at a pretty good chance that you're going to sell for over asking price. But on the buyer side, just over half of the properties didn't have multiple offers, which gives you the opportunity to really shop around, find that house that really fits you, and then you can negotiate the price down, which we haven't been able to do in a very long time. And that's been my experience as well moving forward over the past like 5-6 weeks. I've had more price reductions on my listings than I've had in a very long time. And we've started writing, offers that are a little bit lower than we would have just for this reason. So, if you have any questions about any other cities besides St. Clair Shores, or any stats that I didn't get to, or you have just any questions at all, you can always reach out to me directly. My cell is 586-491-5622. Call or text me anytime. You can also email at deroit@simplyhome.com. And just keep checking back on this channel. I think we're going to have some pretty significant moves in the real estate market here coming up over the next few months. We're gonna, we'll just take it as it comes. And I do have some more video content coming out talking about, potential avenues for, for getting your home sold. So, as always, thank you so much for watching this, guys. I truly appreciate it. We'll be back in touch shortly. And everybody have a fantastic Halloween, a great rest of your fall, and we'll see you in November for the next one of these updates if I don't see you before then. Thanks so much, and have a wonderful day, guys.